Oh.
Ooh. That's all that stress and tension from this episode, wasn't
Honestly,
it? That was all of it.
That was so much. I was sitting there like this. I was
What's
getting
going on,
stressed.
boys? It was that phrase, holy shit sticks. Whatever that means, if that's been said a lot, I don't know. I felt that through this episode the whole way through.
There was so much.
It was non-stop. It was like they wanted to just inundate you with so much shit that you just went, oh, my brain's fried. What's happening? What's actually going on in this hour and 10-minute long episode? Because it was just overload.
I will say this is the first episode that felt long. This one felt like a long episode just because there were so many things coming to completion.
Storylines finishing off,
that it felt, I was like, my God, this was still going.
I agree with you, but that was mainly because of the pacing.
Yeah.
It's not that it was a supremely long episode. An hour and 10 minutes is quite long.
Yeah.
But they paced it in a way which made you feel like, okay, that's the end of this part of the episode. That's the end of this part of the episode.
Yeah.
And now we're going to finish.
Yeah.
And they did that really well. This episode felt like it could have been a movie.
Yeah.
The way it was done, super, super well done. Great way to finish off the season.
Wow.
Seems like, where's the story going to go now?
Honestly, we don't know.
But then the last, 3 minutes of the show made you be like...
They really did just blow your head off. Like, literally. They just blew our heads off with the last 3 minutes. It's true.
Yeah, a lot of shit can happen now. Hey, NarendraTheComic can.
India.
And right now we're just going to be reviewing episode 8 of season 2 of The Boys, the finale. And guys, it was very, very hectic.
Yeah.
We just said it there. We're going to start off. We've written down actually every character name that we could remember. And we're going to go through every character as quickly as possible. Because so much stuff happened here that we're going to forget something inevitably. So we'll start off with Billy, Becca, and Ryan.
Yeah.
Very, very eccentric episode for them.
Yeah.
Billy showing that he is a morally corrupt guy.
Yeah.
Even though he's the protagonist and he's the hero. Then he comes back on himself.
Honestly. When he was in that room with Edgar and he was like, you're going to call me the ruthless bastard, right?
Yeah.
When you're the guy. We were both like,
oh, Billy, man. This isn't good for your soul.
Oh, it was so... I was just like, no. And we were like, you know what? Maybe he's going to die.
Maybe he's going to die. He was the guy.
Mission.
I was like, either Frenchie or Billy were going to die.
That's what I thought.
And neither of them died.
Thank God.
Which I'm glad they didn't. But I feel like they copped out by killing Becca in this episode.
Yeah.
Because they were like, we can't kill one of the boys yet. Because maybe the story is much bigger than what it is already. Which seems impossible. But maybe they need them alive, so they use Becca as the killing out.
Yeah. Because
the kid had that feeling towards her and Billy that it would suffice for losing one of the boys instead.
Honestly.
And that was heavy. Becca went through a lot this episode.
Becca really... We saw a side of Becca that we hadn't seen before, which was
the fighter.
The fighting side. Because I guess in the first season, we saw her through Billy's eyes, which he was always remembering the softer side to her.
Yeah.
So when that came up, we were like, oh, it's kind of surprising, but, we see it. And
when she was picking up a gun and stuff, I was like, nah, I don't buy this. By the end, I was buying it a bit more.
And then she just... It was just really sad. Like, finally, everything was coming right.
Yeah.
And then Stormfront had to pick it up.
Stormfront, guys, it's just true. Stormfront is that classic person who pretends to be good guy, but really is bad guy. And you know what I mean, if you know what I mean, when I'm saying you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, Stormfront is a bitch. Stormfront is I'm a bleep it Nazi.
Yeah.
It's just true. There's no other way about it. And it was played in a way which was expected throughout the season after the first 3 or 4 episodes. I had a feeling she was a Nazi in episode 3 or 4. But I wasn't sure. Because if she was alive in the 60s or 70s, then maybe she's been alive before then. Maybe she's been around from the start and it was that case. And her entire history got thrown out here.
Yeah.
And it sent her for a ringer. She was completely messed up because of that.
Yeah.
And it led into the situation with Ryan where Stormfront was killing Becca.
Yep.
And trying to do that thing again. I want to see the light go out, which was messed up. Messed up
sickening. Stuff. And that kid just finally
He did
popped.
He did it.
And he just destroyed her.
He killed her. He
dismembered her.
Dismembered her.
But she was still talking in German. And then Becca, he caught a bit of Becca
on her neck.
And she's just she's gone.
It was like your son just killed the mum. And, Billy has to do the responsible thing in this case, and that is protect the child.
Yep.
Because from seeing that, he can do good.
Yeah.
But he also had the negative externality of the situation in killing his mother.
Yeah.
But I think from his point of view, he's saying, I have to do the right thing here, which is what Becca wants. But I don't want this kid to become Stormfront, a Homelander. And I think Homelander had a unique situation in this episode as well, right? Because there were moments where you really sympathized with him, even though he was doing the definitely wrong thing by taking the kid away from his mum when the situation didn't call for that, I think.
There were these bits with him and Stormfront trying to teach Ryan how to use his powers, and he was sympathizing with Ryan, and he was like, you know, I cry sometimes too, and it was a strong Bond moment.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel bad, like I'm still rooting for this guy, and then he just went ballistic when Ryan got nabbed by Billy and the boys.
Even then, I was still like, I mean, he's doing this because it's his son, even though it's wrong.
Yeah, and then Ryan killed Stormfront, and he was like, come here.
Yeah.
And Ryan was like, I'm gonna go with the man who was my mum's husband.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Instead of my dad, or instead of my biological dad. And that was obviously very hard for Homelander. That only happened because Maeve came in and basically blackmailed Homelander into being like, you either let them go, you let me go, you let Starlight go, you let bloody Twink go, Huey, or I release the airplane footage from season 1.
Yeah.
And he needs the people's love.
And now he doesn't have anyone else. He doesn't have Ryan's, doesn't have Stormfront's. So he was like, I need it.
I need something. I need some validation.
Yeah.
So he had to let them go. So Maeve here is on one side now. She's not just abstaining from choosing. She's like, no, I'm on that side now.
Yeah.
I'm with Starlight. I'm with the boys. And that's just the case. That was something big.
That scene. Girls really do get it
done,
Girls get it done.
I was like, you know what? This is a lot of bakwas here with this girls get it done. That scene was like, no.
Yeah.
Girls, they got it done. All right. Huey, and
Frenchie
were just standing there being like, wow.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, they're the soups. Yeah. What do you want? They're the soups. It's like there's... What are they going to do there? What are they going to do?
It was like a high school bully scene.
It was
Stormfront
weird.
was on the floor like this, and they were just like, kicking her like hard.
Yeah, it was that type of gang attack scene.
Yeah.
But I'm supporting their attackers.
Yeah.
Because the person they're attacking is so
horrible.
Vile. And it's weird that I don't have that type of animosity, negative emotion towards Homelander in the same way I do with Stormfront. Homelander's still bad. I still think he's very, very corrupt. But Stormfront is completely irredeemable. Yeah. Whereas I still feel Homelander is slightly. I don't know why.
I think Stormfront has had this many lifetimes to get her act together.
Yeah.
And maybe see where she was wrong in that first lifetime, considering that Germany lost the war.
Yeah.
And she hasn't. Whereas Homelander is just someone who wants people's love, and he's like a whore for it.
Yeah.
And he had such a bad upbringing recently, and he is a product of those actions, but he was still trying to be a good person with his son, but he was being manipulated by her.
Stormfront as well.
So you can see there is some good in him.
Yeah.
But her good, there was nothing left. There was nothing.
She was done and dusted, and I think they ended her story rightly.
Yeah.
Like, I feel that had been played out. Then you get on to how this was all initiated.
Yeah.
And that was because A-Train did some double, triple crossing here and gave some information to Starlight and Huey, and that was a funny scene.
Yeah,
He'd be like, hey guys!
Zoomed into the car.
Oh my, that was funny. It was funny. He gave them intel on Stormfront, and then they leaked that, and that caused this entire domino effect on everything to happen really quickly throughout the rest of the episode. Yeah. So A-Train, double, triple crosser, back in the 7 now. He at a cost though. At a cost because he sort of took Deep's place.
Yep.
So Deep is not in the 7. He's not apparently in the church anymore. He seems done. He seems like he might be a vigilante now. I don't know.
I see that.
I see Deep becoming an eco-terrorist.
Oh my god, no, I 100% see that, you're right.
You know, that type of guy, like, oh my god, shut up, just hug the trees. But I see that type of storyline for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're right.
It could be really, really interesting next season. But then that's Huey, that's Starlight. They had that little shenanigans there with A-Train. Huey and Starlight's relationship seems to be all groovy, seems to be finished well. Starlight's alive, which is good. Huey's alive, which is...
good.
There you go. back to his
back to
family.
his family. I was so
Good
happy
job. That was
to see
a
him
great
back.
little scene with the kid. It was like
Yeah.
1 second. It was like, nah, that's family there.
That was just so... Oh, it was lovely.
Yeah, that was good stuff. And Frenchie and Kimiko just going on a journey.
Like, I'm so happy for them. He's learning her sign language
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
and
yeah,
they're like
yeah.
on the same page. And it's just like... Everything sort of became really wholesome by the end. And then they just fucked it up.
Language, but
Sorry,
yes.
they did.
Yeah. The end was a rabbit out of a hat. They did some magic shit here and said, we're just going to misdirect you so heavily in this last couple of minutes. So the congresswoman from this season, who's been the prominent one, Victoria Newman, she's been bled throughout the season.
Yeah.
She's been in all throughout. She is... What? We don't know what she is.
Yeah.
We don't know what side she's on, really.
No.
We don't know where she comes from. We don't know what she wants. All we do know is she's a congresswoman and she has exploding superpowers.
Yeah.
Like the head kind.
The head exploding ones.
So basically, in that court scene,
It was her.
she's the one who blew up everyone's heads.
Yep.
She has superpowers that can blow up heads.
Yeah.
And the reason why you know that is because at the end of the episode, she just blew up Alistair, the head of the church's head.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, I'm gonna blow your head up.
But before she blew his head up, they were on the phone and
Yeah.
he was talking about how, oh, I've got so many more files
On Soups.
And she was like, oh,
That's cool.
okay.
Yeah.
And then 5 minutes later, dead.
Dead.
So is she there because she's heading against...
Vought. She just got put in charge
Yeah.
of a anti-soup Overwatch committee,
Yeah.
basically. So the big question is she really anti-soup? Is she an ex-soup experiment
Yeah.
who got let out or who escaped? Or is she really super undercover Vought?
Yeah.
Like the most covert, she has no oversight, she's free to do what she wants if it's in the best interest
of the company.
And I'm leaning just towards that.
Yeah.
Because what she did by killing the head of the church after
Yeah.
the information that was just given made me think Vaught's going to put someone in charge of the church now
Yeah.
who actually can control it the way they want it controlled. And that was very out of nowhere.
It's a smart play, though, if that is the
Yeah.
case, because Vaught's like, we're going to control the narrative of what's going against us.
Yeah.
So we're always one step ahead.
We'll put
if that's the
someone in
case.
charge
Yeah.
who is with us,
Yeah.
even though the narrative is
Is that they're
against
against
us.
us.
So they can, like, cushion it in the right ways, even though there's something really bad. Or only put out the really bad stories when it's necessary.
Yeah.
So these types of things just throw the entire season open in a different way.
Yeah.
It's like, what is actually going to happen next season? We don't know. All we do know is she is playing someone, and we don't know where it's going to go.
No.
No.
It's really mad.
There are so many options from here. And it ended on such a complete note from
Yeah.
every storyline that it makes you just feel a bit confused as to where it can go. And Huey's going to work for her as well now.
Conflict of interest in
You
the
need
future.
it. You need it. Where's his loyalty? Is it with her? Is it with Starlight? Is it with Billy and the boys? Nuts.
We don't know.
Big stuff. Big stuff. Great season. Really good season. I will say some of the stuff in here did feel like it was politics from 2016 or 15 or 17. It didn't feel like it was current day just because of the way they were framing certain things.
Yeah, and the wording.
And including PewDiePie and something which was obviously aimed in a certain direction. Even though it was just an off-the-cuff comment, it made you feel like, guys, just do some research. Research for 1 minute and you'll find out that he's just a guy on the internet having fun. He's not a Nazi. There you go. I said it. Great. Bleep it, bleep it, bleep it. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, then Stormfront itself will come after you. Do they want that? You don't want that. So just subscribe anyway to avoid that. I've been original.
I've been India.
You've been Grant. We'll see you next time. That's tomorrow. If you don't know, I make a video every single day. I've been doing it every day for over 2 years now. We ain't stopping till we get to 10,000 subscribers. So do subscribe. Pop back again tomorrow for some more quality shitty content. So hashtag
Never not here.
never ever not here. Back tomorrow with some more bakwas because we always constantly, we never stop bringing the bakwas. See you tomorrow. Skadoosh.